Go ahead. Start on time. Go ahead.
Okay. We'll bring July 30th board meeting to order with roll call. Tammy Shanks is present. Jason Parks is present. Victor Travis is present. Justin Abel is present. We have Doc on Zoom.
We'll get him there.
And Doc Labus will be joining us via Zoom. And the approval of the agenda. Tonight we have new business of school start date, the reopening plan, executive session, bus drivers, substitute, administrative salary, executive session. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
We approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda made by Jason Parks, seconded by Justin Abel. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed 5-0. Motion to approve the agenda made by Jason Parks, seconded by Justin Abel. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed 5-0. Motion to approve the agenda made by Jason Parks, seconded by Justin. Got it. Sorry. Okay. New business, school start date.
It's the new schedule is a half day on the 25th, Tuesday the 25th.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. So you have the calendar.
We just need a motion.
We just need a
calendar.
motion to begin school on.
Okay. And it's the same calendar we saw at the last meeting we were at.
I
Or
would have sent it to you probably.
okay.
It says calendar E.
Yeah, calendar
Calendar.
E.
Already
Okay,
calendar
E.
Calendar.
Yeah, I would move that we approve that calendar with a start date of August 25th. Second.
Moved by Jason Parks to approve calendar E as our 2021 calendar, seconded by Justin Abel. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed 5-0. The reopening plan.
Okay, any questions for me on the reopening plan?
I just have a few, I think. Just a few. So this is a little bit about what we talked about when we first talked about this. I'm glad Mr. Darrow's here. We talked about a number that was going to trigger Plan B. And we had limited, if the state or some other body limits our gathering ability to 20 people. And I was wondering if 20 was the right number at the high school, because we don't really have classes that have 20 people in them other than maybe PE and some of the big ones. And I thought maybe we can try to leverage that number down a little bit so it don't get caught in the crossfire of a 20. But as long as we're flexible, I don't know that it
There you
matters.
go.
I just didn't know if it was a hard number where, we're triggering 20, or if we,
No.
and
No.
that's the other question is with all of this, I think Chris has said it before, we got to start somewhere. As things roll through, as CDC has new stuff out today for schools. And I would be shocked if we didn't get something new every other day from now until eternity, it feels like. We just stay versatile. And do we need a provision in the plan to review it every so often? Do we leave it as a standing thing on the board agenda each month? For
Yeah,
a couple months?
I would say for the August board meeting, we want to go ahead and review it again just to see what's changed. And if we need a special board meeting to look at it, we will.
I think if nothing else, that's what we've had to learn by now is it's going to change. It
Changes
just
every
will
day.
not. The only other question I had on Plan B was we have 4 days of school instead of 5. We don't have that Friday. I don't think we have any Zoom classes or anything on Friday. It looks like it's a help day and a catch-up day.
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Friday, everybody is still required to check in. Okay. It's only in the morning, and we were talking about that would be a social emotional type day where they at least be able to get go through some career cruising stuff, go through some some character ed stuff, just to be able to check in. And everybody had to check in. But yes, you are correct. After that, on that Friday, anybody can go see their teacher though. Okay, but it has to be by appointment. If you are under a C average, you have to go in. There's not you have to go in. But if you got a C, B, or A and you want to go work with Mr. Darrow in physics or whatever, you have to set up an appointment with him on that Friday, and then you can do it. And we're encouraging too, if we ever get to that plan, that'd be a good time to go work on some art projects and some, wood shop project to set some times up.
So if we were to have to go to B based on whatever might come out, with the limited, Friday being a limited day, would the state board come in and change? How would that affect the hours that are required for a school year?
Once again, it's not going to affect our hours. Okay. This basically, we have to provide work for them and we have to zoom in. Okay. If we were not requiring students to log in each period, okay, to be on, we would then have to keep a log. Okay. But our plan is if you're remote and in, you're going to have to be in and the teacher will take the attendance. So there's no log necessary for those kids that are logging in every period. Okay.
You're on Friday, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'm going plan A, plan B. I'm doing both.
So
Same thing.
What we're talking about right now is
I know what you're talking about.
specifically on Friday.
Yeah.
So we're still logging in every hour each class on Friday?
No, you're just logging in that one day and we're going to take attendance through that period of that day. Okay. Now, yes, that would be the time then where parents would have to send a log home. They would have to sign a log that says this is what we did on Friday. We would have to keep track of it and turn that into the auditor.
Why do Fridays that way instead of just like one of the other days? Why not do a 3-2 and then a 2-3 the next week or something like that? Why turn Friday into this alternate type day instead of a in-class day or a full Zoom day?
Because we feel like those kids that are struggling are going to need that help. And if we turn everything into an everyday, they're not going to get that help. I don't know where they're going to get that help. That's kind of the thought on that. But once again, all plans can be adjusted. That's something we can be working on. If we need to work on it, we can work on it between now and by the time we actually open up school. We can relook at it. But
in a normal year or a normal semester, how many kids are on that ACE list? The ones that will be required to come on Friday.
we kind of kept track of that. There was at least 30 to 40. Well, there was 30 to 40. But that was high school. That wasn't junior high.
Well,
now you
we
add
did
junior
the other way
high.
around. It wasn't from junior high. It was from high school.
That's what I said.
Right, yeah.
I
I
said.
think those were about 80 that got let out.
Right.
And so we've been about another 80.
Well, the ones that I looked at was
Is that building wide, Terry? 80 out?
No, junior high is still there.
Okay, junior high. Okay.
Just of the high school on the C, D, F, with stayed. So I'd say half.
Okay. Roughly half.
Also add in the special eds, half of the special ed kids,
That's true.
those kids, so you're adding another 20 plus kids coming in for the projects. And just if you miss during the week, those kids that miss, it's a great opportunity for them to get some of that one-on-one with those teachers. So that number definitely will go up just because of that.
I believe we think kids are still going to be assigned something on that Friday. They're just not going to have their teacher.
So thinking along the lines actually either model with what we go with, those kids that do that dual program with like Salina Tech, how will they have that opportunity this year or will that not exist this year?
No, they'll have that.
Okay.
Don't ask me how it's going to look. We don't know their schedule yet. I mean, so we're going to work with it though, just like we would in a normal school year. From what I heard last was they weren't going to have them go every day. It was going to be like a block for them.
So they'll just attend regular.
Yeah, well, we'll have to work that out. And what we have, how many kids last semester?
6.
Last semester? Okay, 6 kids. So we'll work that out. But
What about our 305 teachers? 305 they're not doing what we're doing. So does that affect the teachers that are technically employed?
They
by
follow our schedule.
They
follow our schedule.
Follow
Okay.
our calendar.
yeah,
Okay, so there's no conflict there with 305 doing some other than what we do. So,
Their paycheck is supposed to be fine.
okay.
Our plan.
That's good questions.
The health part of this, I assume we're taking, that's why Ms. Smith is here, I assume, is that we're in contact with the health department and things like that, because that's the one piece that we need.
Answer that question, Trish. Yeah, we are in contact. We are in contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I assume that you would agree with what we were talking about earlier, staying fluid and being versatile and being ready to change. Okay. Those are really the only questions I had. I thought everything else was, anytime you try to plan something down to the nails, you're just planning to fail, but you have to have a plan to start with.
And we already plan on starting Monday with administration to start planning again.
Yeah.
And so it's,
The next level, I think, is the how. To me, that's like,
Mhm.
we have,
Many of it till we get
we're going to be in Zoom class. Okay, exactly how do we do that?
Yeah, that's our next with our task force is develop our professional development days and what those are going to look like. So that's next for us.
That's why we pushed our date back a little bit so we can get a
More
little more
time.
familiar.
Well, we have both building administrators here. How do we feel about hitting those targets? We have all three, sorry. How do we feel about hitting our targets and being ready on August 25th?
Sure.
All right.
Good.
Okay.
I think,
Perfect
Better
answer.
than the 19th.
yeah,
Got it.
we're pretty
Got it.
fortunate that we did start early. There's some that are just getting started.
Yeah.
There are some buildings that haven't been accessible to their staff all summer.
I don't know if we're going to be any more ready if we would wait till September 8th or if we go all September 1st.
November might be the same.
So we're,
Sometimes you have to jump.
yeah. And as for anybody watching, we're going to do the best we can to make everybody feel safe, the best we can. We're going to follow the rules and the guidelines, and do what we can, and try to make this actual school. That's the goal. So it's
Will
gonna.
there be some way, I'm just concerned that some parents may not know the specifics of the plan that we approved. How are we gonna get that word out as to what, like the first day of school? We're gonna give them 3 masks when they come in,
Yeah. Okay.
how are they gonna?
Well, right now that plan's on the website, got put on at 4:00. That's one thing. We will make sure that we send out a Zoom call, those types of calls, so they get the text and everything. It says, go read the plan. Here's first day of school. Yeah, we've got it.
Why don't we use the local publication to do an abridged version of this? They can publish it with a way to find the full version if you'd like, but we can hit the highlights through a local story in one of our local publications. I can reach out to them to make sure that they do that. And that's how we can start getting that message out after tonight when it's approved.
Sure.
And I will make sure that they understand that this is a versatile plan that is planning to change and roll with the punches. And that here are the highlights and for full version, see.
And I don't want to catch anybody off guard, so I'll just say it about the executive order that the governor had on 20-59 that says that everybody will be wearing a mask at all times when they're in the school. No exception except for a few exemptions that may qualify. Anytime they're outside, then we can, like recess, we can take our masks off at recess. We can take them off at PE if we're playing outside. Obviously eating lunch, they can go outside, but we'll have to take breaks during the day somewhere. We're going to have to schedule breaks in order for kids to be able to take off their masks until they get used to it for sure. So it's going to be a process that we're going to work through. It is the executive order. So that's
Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Our original plan was to socially distance 6 feet apart, let the kids take off the masks in the room, and so they could do their schoolwork without a mask on. To be able to do that, we needed an order from our county commissioners exempting us from that executive order.
Correct.
And they did not issue that.
correct.
Just making sure.
That is correct.
Okay.
Dr. Lavis is on. It's my fault. Sorry, Doc. Too busy talking.
We're okay.
Social distance, because I thought I still read that in the plan somewhere
No,
that the
it's-
teachers would let them know. if
It's
they
wrong. No, that plan, I've taken that out
go.
of
Okay.
the original plan. Do you have any questions about the plan? Sorry about that. I don't know if you've been watching on YouTube or not.
I haven't been able to follow, no.
Okay. I didn't know if you saw it on YouTube. Do you have any questions about the plan?
Other than mass all day in a school is, I think, unrealistic.
Well, we understand that, but our goal is we'll give kids break.
I understand. The governor has decreed we have to be stuck with this, even though she knows crap about rural Kansas and running a school, but we're stuck with it.
Thank you, Doc. Yes.
Very good.
We'll try our mind.
I'm worried about the communication. I mean, I was with my kid today for a little bit in slime stores and masks on. I couldn't understand the word he was saying.
Yeah.
I didn't keep saying, would you repeat this? Would you? He was
Yeah, I
getting
know.
over me. Yeah. I can't imagine a 5-year-old trying to talk.
Yeah.
All the moment.
Yep.
I mean,
You take out all the.
I maybe it's my old ears. I'm struggling with that.
Yeah. I agree. Well, that's the beauty. We will definitely
And I also think about
adjust.
the young language learners and whether we know it or not, how much of our language we learn, not just by hearing, but by watching someone's mouth, watching that, what that looks like.
Yeah.
I'm worried about our young learners, especially with that.
I understand.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
we can't do anything about that.
Yeah, not right now. We
Not
can't,
yet.
but
See, we do speech virtually already.
Yeah,
So
they'll
could would the county, you said it was the county commissioner, right?
Yes.
Would they ever revisit the,
I suppose they can anytime. Yeah.
We meet every Monday. So, any parents, parishioners, students, teachers, staff, anybody that wants to ask them, they'll be
I
there.
guess I just.
Monday
feel
at
that
9 o'clock,
decision
of course.
should be up to us,
at
administrators,
in the
teachers,
morning,
school board.
9 a.m. Monday.
I think it's 9, might be 8. They're there.
They can modify it. That's what it is. Right now they can. Okay, let's make
Right now,
that straight.
yeah.
Right now they can. The Attorney General, he's going to put out his opinion. Okay. And just to be clear on this, if the county does it, I'll just say this, somebody could throw out a lawsuit. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the county commissioners, because the governor's office saying no, county commissioners cannot make any changes. The Attorney General right now, his opinion is, he's making his opinion that says, yes, they can. So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, sure.
And that's possibly why our county
Yeah.
our county commissioners haven't done anything.
Possible.
It's possible for that reason.
The county's all amended the earlier executive order or opted out of the earlier executive order. And that was why that language was put in the law earlier. But
Yeah.
you can always fight about anything.
That's right.
So, okay.
All right.
So I move that we approve the USD 239, 2021 reopening plan.
Justin?
Moved by Justin Abel to approve the 2021 reopening plan, seconded by Tammy Shanks. All in favor, raise your right hand. Dog's hand up.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I didn't quite hear what the motion was.
To approve our plan for the reopening.
The district plan we had at the last meeting?
No, I sent it out. You have it. And basically it's going to be a fluid plan. We're going to make adjustments. We might make an adjustment on August 10th at the next board meeting. We'll just have to see how it goes. But right now we've got it in place and we'll just see what the government tells us we're going to be doing.
Does it require masks all day long for all grade levels?
Unfortunately, it does.
Yeah. I vote
Not for
no.
recess. We're not doing it for recess. We're not doing it for PE. We'll be able to do those things where they can socially
I
distance
vote
out.
no.
Okay, thank you.
I was gonna ask Rick if we had any questions on the reopening
Sorry, Rick.
plan. Do you have any questions on the reopening plan?
No.
So we have a motion to approve the 2021 reopening plan. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed 6-1, because I'm your doc said no. Executive session in non-elected personnel.
It's up to you guys. We got you can talk in open session if you want on the first one, but we might want to go in and talk about your administrative salaries without me in there.
Yeah. The first two, I think we can do.
Yeah.
So we can hold that motion for a second on the bus driver
Yeah,
activity.
so go in and then get the,
the first issue is whether or not to raise the bus driver activity pay.
Yes.
We have where we are currently, average of those responded, and the proposal. That's going to be a hard job to fill, I guess. If you're $2 under what you can.
This
do
is
in
for the
next- in
activity,
next
yeah.
County.
Yep.
We're lagging behind a little bit. It makes sense to me to be competitive.
I agree.
Any idea generally what the overall impact of that is? We're not talking a lot of, like, if we do that,
No.
it's not $1 million
No.
hit to our budget.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
okay.
No.
I didn't know if you had any.
Maybe a few thousand.
Okay.
And so with the recommendations that they've given that, we limit attendance at activities, will we send a pet bus?
Well, it's not even a pep bus. It's who drives for football. It's who drives for cross country. It's who drives to any activity. So we're going to send a bus. So yeah.
Move we approve the activity bus driver pay as presented.
Second.
Moved by Justin Amo to approve the activity driver pay as presented, seconded by Becky Travis. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed. Where's Doc?
Doc, he passed. He said yes.
7-0. Substitute pay. Currently, subs are paid
So we're
$100 a day in mileage.
So we're about plus 15% on this proposal, which is going to be about 15,000 a year. Is that
It's
right?
probably a little less than 15 because my suggestion is we take out the mileage. We're about the only school that gives mileage.
So it's netted against mileage.
Yeah, and so if we go up to 115, they're still going to get an increase because you're not getting that in mileage. So it's still going to be an increase, but yeah.
But not the full 15%.
No.
So, okay. Any idea what the net impact of that is? How much is gonna be
Yeah,
offset by mileage?
yeah. So if we're spending 60,000 on subs, mileage is usually around 5,000 to 6,000.
Okay. Our sub budget's about 100. Isn't it?
Well, we've got a substitute that's included in there that works full time.
Oh, okay.
So he's in that budget. So it's more like 75.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, $10,000.
Yeah. And I think that we do compete with Salina. And then Salina, of course, competes with, we got people in Salina that go to Southeast. So we're competing with Southeast in a sense. El Saline we're competing with. Twin Valley, obviously, we're competing with. Probably a little bit of Lincoln, but not much. But
Okay.
those around us, and they're all but Twin Valley, I think, are paying more than we are. So it'd be good to get it up a little bit.
It'd be interesting to see the net effect of some schools not needing subs because they're not there all the time, and the reduced number of people willing to sub.
Mhm.
So my gut on that is that the pool will be smaller.
That's what
It'll be
I
more, there'll be
agree.
more
So
competition.
I don't think we're gonna have as
How
net.
long's it been since we changed that number? So
Probably three years ago, probably.
Yeah. It used to be.
Okay.
I move that we change the substitute pay from 100 to 115 and no mileage.
Second.
Moved by Becky to adjust substitute pay, seconded by Tammy. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed. Where's Doc?
Doc's got his hand up. He's a yes.
Yes.
Administrative salary. We probably need executive session for this.
You're not supposed to be working.
So how long do we?
Not my pants.
I won't be in here, so.
15
15 minutes.
probably.
Do we need administrators back?
After.
No.
No,
Oh, no one.
Next, just you for negotiations.
Meetings for like sporting events and how we're gonna handle all that stuff. If anyone want to be involved in that, I can put you guys name and email so you're
don't forget
in
me.
the loop. So
I'm joining
we're
as
gonna start
line
talking about how we're gonna
members.
handle all that stuff. So,
Okay, yes, please do.
all right.
Madam President, Madam President, I move we go into executive session to discuss matters of non-elected personnel pursuant to the exception under COMA in order to protect the privacy interests of the individuals to be discussed, and that we return to open session in this room at 6:41.
Moved by Tammy to go into executive session. Seconded by Justin. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed 7-0. I guess I probably. need-
All right, Justin Reed, they're going in for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
6:41, they said. All right, thank you. Justin, can you hear us? All right, you can go ahead and take us live.
Do we have a motion for administrative salaries?
Yeah, move that we approve the administrative salaries as presented. Do I need to give numbers?
Second.
You don't, it's up to you guys. You sure can. You can, go ahead.
I move that we approve the administrative salaries, 2.5% increase for all administrators, superintendent, and Mr. Rundy.
Yeah.
Administrator.
Second.
Moved by Justin Abel, seconded by Dr. Labus to approve administrative salaries. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Doc's got his hand up.
We have 4 yays, all opposed, same sign. 3. Motion passed 4-3.
Nays were, I'm sorry.
Jason,
Rick,
Rick, and Becky.
and Vic.
The executive session for negotiations.
Oh.
You guys want to go in?
Have to go in, I mean.
Oh.
They have took everything you guys already gone in for.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We had a great session yesterday. Were all able to come to an agreement. They submitted it to the staff for a vote and it passed 96%. No, I would like to go into executive session, please.
Oh, she's still.
I don't know if you see
No
that.
good, or
I'll read it.
You're the president. Can you actually read that?
I think I can.
Sure.
Mr. Vice President, I move that we go to an executive session to discuss negotiations pursuant to the exception for employer-employee negotiations under COMA in order to protect the public interest in negotiating a fair and equitable contract, and that we return to open session in this room at 6:50.
Did you want the superintendent?
He can stay.
Sorry.
Moved by myself to go into executive session, seconded by Tammy. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed 7-0.
All right, they're going into executive session for negotiations for 5 minutes. All right.
soup in or out?
And-
We're back. You hear me?
So do we have a motion to ratify the negotiated agreement for the 2021 school year?
Second.
Moved by Justin Abel to approve the negotiated agreement, seconded by Becky Travis. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Approved.
Docs
Pass
approved.
7-0. Again on
Something like
June or
August 10th.
August 10th. You know,
Out of curiosity, is anybody interested in going to or approaching the commissioners about that math ordinance thing?
The mask ordinance.
I had some phone calls in, like I said, they haven't had time to reply. Just not. But after what Chris said about, maybe they're waiting on Minerals recommendation.
Yeah, I don't know what's
I
going
don't
to
know
take
what other
place.
counties have done. I haven't heard anything.
And the only reason I am concerned about it so much is the parents that I have spoken to this week alone in regards to the plan, and it's parents of smaller children, just don't like that their kids would have to wear masks all day, even in the class, even if they were like the social distance. It's basically Doc's argument, that it's those little kids.
I don't think anybody disagrees.
Uh-uh.
Not here around us anyways. I don't think any of us disagree.
And so I just didn't know if it was something, if we were to approach the commissioners at the next meeting, if they would consider revisiting. I just think it would make life easier for our schools and for those
I
kids.
support that approach.
We might as well try and take a couple people and go. I'll go.
When is it?
Every Monday morning. Monday morning.
I've been sending emails, so I'm getting really many answers.
That's where Justin's at.
I haven't got any either.
Well, I guess we show up.
And it's Monday 9 where?
It's courthouse,
to the courthouse.
third floor, north end.
Can't have four.
Yeah,
Can't have four of us.
Okay.
Um,
So only 3.
and I'll be there anyway if you
They
want
can
to
meet
go. I
what,
can
at
go somewhere
8:30?
else. I don't remember.
So Bridget said she'd go, Jason,
I will go.
and Rick.
All right.
So Becky, you're not attending?
No, because we can only have 3 go.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Tammy Shanks to adjourn, seconded by Justin Abel. All in favor, raise your right hand. I'm typing.
Oh, sorry.
Bruce is up.
Motion passed 7-0.
Tapping in my commissioners meeting.
All right.